Let's see here. Um, what's the purpose of this video? Just some of the stuff that's floating around that I had put a post up on Karen McDonald's Intel site um, about a police guy, a retired police officer up in San Francisco, because of the electrodynamic of what's happening with the circulation library, which is the planet's water memory banks, right? Blood banks, memory banks, water banks, spin rate, right? Air purifiers, ionic air purifiers, right? And so I'm on the Big Island, and I'm in a place called La Hoi Hoi. And so what happened is somebody commented about the post that I put up. The California insider who was interviewing a police officer said, listen, you're going to have to second guess every decision that you make as a police officer. And nowadays, on what you choose to use your energy to get involved with, it's called engagement, the wars of engagement. Remember Sun Tzu, the laws of war, right? So you realize if you're going after a hospital ship, that's supposed to be off limits, even during World War II, right? Not when you're in a vampiric energy zone. So this is when you're choosing to come into this place, you realize why you chose to come into this place, right? Right? This was millions and millions and millions and millions of years in the making because it's a massive black hole on a galactic level, right? Actually, scale it up further than that. I've always described it quite simply as imagine that the biggest vampire in the cosmos is after the law of one, the one. So the one's here. That one is within me. Okay? I'm a cosmic level being. That's a cos spirit. Okay? That's the eternal spirit of fire. So that's to determine how much love you have in your heart, which is known as the language of fire, which is a breathing dragon. So when you understand what it means when a male and a female come together to be the most powerful nuclear reactor, right? That's the negative and the positive magnetic reaction states. When you're able to zero out those clocks, right? Zero out time. There isn't any time. There's only what love is, which is the eternal spirit of fire. That's the absolute purity of love, which is an absolute pure heart. That's the purest there is. That's a purifier. That means when that shield is up, that's the eternal spirit of fire that is running that shield. That's a cosmic level shield. Okay, so you understand when you're on the Big Island why a cosmic level shield is on the largest DNA shield volcano. When you have 65 to 70% of the folks on this island that are using their nuclear reactor to blow holes in their energy field, I'm using the eternal spirit of fire to maintain the shield in mine. So that you realize that you're in a huge vampiric energy zone. And La Hoi Hoi, where I live in this house, is right smack dab in the middle of one of the largest on the planet. Unnaturally, because it's the largest shield volcano. Right? And so it's when I used to work with a Kanaka Maholi, a Lemurian light, as she would say to folks that she would work with herself, that this is a very unforgiving place, which means if your shield is not up, it ain't going to take long, because this place is a big shark tank, which means it won't take long before you see it. Okay? Because it's after your energy. Okay, so when you scale it even down to the micro level, yeah, I get attacked every day naturally because of the light that is represented by you when you're grounded with your bare feet, right? Bugs, all kinds of stuff, right? Always distracting you. Some inflammation breaks out because of the nature of the way that the energy on the island is vampiric. I could tell you stories to the cows come home. I get bitten on every day. I have like little bug bites all the time. They're just there. Little microbes, little tiny bugs. Well, I call them no-see-ums. You can't see them. Next thing you know is you're itching. What the heck got me? Right? Even being in this room, I went on a ride on a bus yesterday. You think a clean bus, right? And so just going to heal. And then on the way back, I'm sitting there going, what the heck bit me? I'm sitting on a seat. That's the nature of it. It wants your energy. From the smallest to the largest that's here. Okay? It's seeking to drain your life. It's feeding on you. So you jumped into a big vampiric energy zone coming in here. That's a fallen spiritual system. Okay? That's an inverter. Okay? So we're the source of energy. So when you know at 4 years of age, you're in a vampiric energy zone, which is an energy harvesting zone, that means that everything is being harvested. Everything that you see on the surface of the planet is being harvested. Because it doesn't have an off switch. That's a psychopath. So it's as if we're losing a universe, which means it's going the other way. That's right, it's going the other way. So that means cosmic level beings have to come in here in order to do what? Hold the shield down. From my perspective, what I do as a polarity integrator is pull all the fragments that are lost as a result of the weapons that are thrown against everybody so that we all experience what love is through our hearts. So we're experiencing the one. Right? So you realize that love is the most powerful magic. That's the eternal spirit of fire. They can never put that out. That's the first spark of any campfire. Right? The spark that kickstarts what? The flash. The flash actually occurs before the ignition point of that coil, which is the spin rate of a vortex. Just like a volcano. So it's much like, well, how big is your volcano and how fast does your volcano spin? That's based on your heart. How much plasma waves you're able to generate. How many neurons are you able to generate. Your heart is able to rewire your brain, by the way, because I've had to do that a number of times. Which means you know how to rewire your circuits when they've been damaged by the weapons that they throw at you and all the tech and the chips. Right? So you want a firewall, right? Yeah, and that's what the eternal spirit of fire is. It's a firewall. Okay, so now we're back to how much fire you got in you. Right? Well, what's the measurement on that? How much love you got on your heart. So it's not your head, it's not your brain, it's your heart, because that's your soul connection. From your soul to your oversoul, which means how much energy do you have available to you to heal yourself when you need to heal yourself when you're always under attack. Right? So they realize when it experiences that much energy that is in here, okay, then you're going to be a big target. Just like mama is a big target. Okay? So that's why when you think about alien intelligence, it's alien because it's foreign. It's an inverter. So it needs a source of energy in order to run its machinery. So who do you think is the ultimate source of energy to run machinery? The one, which is eternal love. So all life and all creation began with absolute love. So when all the machinery is experiencing absolute love, they know they're in the presence of the highest law, which is the highest speed, which is an accelerator, not an inverter. An inverter is a vampire because it needs a source of energy in order to maintain what it's aware of off of you, which is me or all of us. So we call that the big sucking sound, the vacuum. So I want to thank somebody for putting up a little ad from, what did he say, Bezos' company, right? Amazon Prime. Notice that they call it Prime. I heard Ishmael Perez say this morning, Prime Creator. And you got Amazon Prime. Well, one's foreign, one I know, and one I don't know. I know.